Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Titans Latest. This is meant to be your one-stop shop for all of the Titans news, the latest news and updates, and more. And I'm going to try to get it to you every day in 15 minutes or less. I am Brent Smith, your host for the show. I've been a fan of this team for a very, very long time, for about 26 years. And so I love to talk about this team. I live in Ohio. I lived in Nashville for about 9 years, but I live in Ohio now. Again, I'm born and raised here, moved away, moved back to start a family, all that kind of stuff, you know, how life goes. But I love this team. I have for a long time, and I love to talk about them. So that's why I'm hosting this show. So hopefully you guys are liking what I'm doing here. Hopefully you're enjoying what I have to say, what I'm sharing with you guys, and keeping you up to date. I'm going to be up to date with this stuff anyway, so I might as well communicate it to those of you who don't have a lot of time and want to get some news and information in a short, concise manner instead of having it be some episode that lasts for an hour with a whole lot of talk that you guys don't need to hear. So anyway, let's get into today's news. So you can see on the graphic, the very first thing that I have today is that the Tennessee Titans yesterday announced, actually maybe it was the day before yesterday, they announced their preseason schedule. So it's been released. The Titans have finalized their preseason schedule. Game 1 is Thursday, August 13th at 8 p.m. at San Francisco. Game 2, Sunday, August 23rd at 7 p.m. at home versus Seattle. And Game 3 is Saturday, August 29th at 5 p.m. at home versus Chicago. And I really like this last game that we have here, this last pairing that we have, because I'm a big fan of Kevin Byard. He played for our team for a long time. You remember him. He's the mayor of Murfreesboro. Ball hawk, really good leader, really good character guy that we have, that we had on the team for a very long time. And so he went to Chicago a couple seasons ago. There was an opportunity that he may have been able to come back to us this year in the offseason, but Chicago signed him again to stay with them. So he will not be back, but Chicago really in the last season or two, last off season or two, has kind of become Tennessee Titans North a little bit. They've got a lot of players that we have had on our team recently that are there now, but Kevin Byard being the main one. And so a side note as well, first of all, why does this matter, this preseason schedule? I love the preseason. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people find it boring. But I love this team so much, I'm always interested to see what they have coming up, what's going to be new. This preseason is going to be especially interesting because we have a brand new head coach, brand new defensive scheme, brand new offensive coordinator, brand new offensive scheme. Thank God we kept Bones Fossil, so we have the same special teams scheme and players, or not players necessarily, but mostly. But Bones Fossil is the same coach there for us, and he's awesome at what he does. And so we have a lot of stuff to check out this year, right? To find out new things. Also, we get to see our new uniforms as well, see them in action for the first time. So that'll be great. And another thing, a side note as well to go along with this, is that Coach Sala actually said that our starters. A lot of times preseason is boring because your starters don't play until the last game and they get one or two series and they're done. Robert Saleh actually said that he wants all of his starters to get playing time. I don't know how much, but to get playing time in every one of these preseason games this year. So that'll be exciting. Just a reminder, last year they scaled it back. We used to have 4 preseason games for a long time. We only have 3 now. They scaled that back a little bit. I like that more. They added the 17th regular season game, which makes it a game that matters, and so I'd much rather have that set up anyway. But pretty cool that they've released this now, and that we're going to get starters playing in all 3 of the games, get to see the new uniforms, new offensive scheme, new defensive scheme, new players, new coaches, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be really fun. So anyway, we're going to move on to our next topic today, which is that ESPN ranked us. They put out their FPI index, which is their football power index. And right now, they have the Titans listed at number 27. Does that sound right to you guys? Number 27. I know that there's a couple teams above us, at least, that I think that we have a chance that we are actually better than them already, including the New Orleans Saints. I mean, they have Tyler Shuck at quarterback, as far as I know. They don't have anybody else. I can't tell you another wide receiver outside of Chris Olave who's on their roster right now. Maybe I'm a weirdo for not knowing more than that, but Alvin Kamara is getting older, and he's not as effective as he used to be. And so I just don't know a whole lot about that team. But what I do know tells me that I don't think they should be ranked above us. But if you've been a fan of this team for a long time, I feel like I say that every episode, you know that the national media never gives us any kind of respect anyway. So I've said for a long time, maybe you're with me, you probably should be with me on this one, until we win a Super Bowl, nobody's going to give us respect outside of our local reporters and our individual fans for our team. And I get that. You got to earn it, right? Respect is earned. You got to earn it. And so until we win a Super Bowl, I don't think that our franchise is going to be taken seriously and be considered in these conversations regularly and be given really the ranking that we fans believe that we should get for any of these types of rankings that they give us. So we're always low. Funny thing is now we have actually started to be ranked even lower by regular reporters on this team. And you know, we've earned it. We've not been very good at all since the 3 seasons before Vrabel left. I think the last 2 seasons he was here, we were pretty terrible as well. So little side note, maybe you guys feel my pain or my daughter's pain. We were watching, because my family, we live in Ohio, like I said. My family, my daughter Riley, my son Owen, my wife Nicole, we're all big fans of the Titans. I'm the biggest one. I'm the most passionate. But we were watching the Titans play this last season, and my daughter turned to me, and it broke my heart. She turned to me and she said, "Dad," she said, "why does it have to be so hard to be a Titans fan? Why does it have to hurt so bad?" And I get that completely. And all that I could tell her is give it some time. You know, we've got a lot of pieces in place. I already mentioned all the new things we have this year. Cam Ward, to me, looks like he's going to be a legitimate franchise quarterback for at least the next decade or so. We'll see. He's got some more things to prove this year. But that is, you know, we've got some things coming and things that are exciting for us. We got a new stadium coming, which also means that we're going to get a lot more media coverage. A lot more media coverage tends to lead to more positive momentum. So we'll see. But if you're feeling like my daughter, if you're feeling like I am a bit, have hope that things are going to turn around. I know that we have earned our negativity, our depression about it right now, but we've got a lot of stuff that's really exciting on the horizon for this season. So bear with us, stick with us. It's going to get better, I promise you. So next up is want to get back into the ESPN Power Rankings real quick, just because the Titans are ranked at 27. I asked you guys, does that sound right to you? I talked about me thinking that they should be a little bit higher. Just to give you a little more information, they have the Rams ranked at number 1. I think I mentioned that the other day, but I really think that, especially now with the Myles Garrett trade, I don't see how you don't have the Rams ranked as number 1, as the shoe-in right now to be the Super Bowl champion this year, or at least to be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. They have the Bills at number 2. Historically, over the last 4, 5, 6 years, I can see that, but they have a different coach now. And they didn't do the best last year. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they should be ranked at number 2 or not with some changes that came, but they are. And then I wanted to get you guys info real quick about just the teams in our division. No surprise, we're ranked last out of those 4 teams. The Texans are ranked at number 13. I think that's legitimate. They've got some things to clean up, and C.J. Stroud has got to play a little bit better, but that's a fair ranking for them. The Jags are at number 17. I can see them being a little bit lower, but that's okay. I mean, they didn't do a whole lot in this offseason that was exciting to me, but they do have pieces in place already that they've had some success with. Last year, they did decent with Liam Cohen coming in as the new coach. Move on from that. I don't want to talk about the Jags too much. Colts, they have them ranked at number 20. I don't know about that one either. I mean, I think they could fairly be ranked below us, honestly. I have to tell you guys, though, I am an optimistic fan of this team. Every single season, I think we're going to do better than we do. I try to keep my expectations realistic, but I always feel like we're going to do better than anybody's saying that we're going to do. But they have the Colts at number 20. Once again, we are at number 27. So I think that this season is going to pan out and really show those to be different, but we'll see. Where do you guys think we should be ranked at? I would say at least up in the early 20s myself, with the pieces we have in place and the things that we brought in, but we'll see. But anyway, does that seem like the right place for us to be ranked to you? If it does, let me know. Follow me over on X, formerly Twitter. I am at Ohio Titan. I told you I'm born and raised in Ohio, moved to Nashville for 9 years, and moved back here now to be with my family and friends, raise my kids with family and friends, and so I'm here. I'm Ohio Titan. Follow me on X. I'm on there. I'm active every day. Love to talk to you guys. Love to find out who's watching the show, see what you think, answer any questions that you have. I'd love to get a mailbag together, get enough questions at some point to be able to do that. And so that's that topic. Moving on. Next up, we have actually another piece of information here, another exciting thing for us as a team. Not that being ranked number 27 on the previous list was exciting, but at least that was something to talk about. It was reported by DraftKings that Dan Orlovsky said that the New England Patriots have the deepest wide receiver room in the AFC. And then they went on to include our wide receiver room on the graphic as an option to maybe be considered as being better. That's amazing to me. We never get considered in these kinds of things. And how often at wide receiver do we get considered in these things? So it's pretty great to be there. Honestly, I'll take it. But right now they listed us with our wide receiver room depth that they listed as starters and first backups. Carnell Tate, Wandale Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Alec Iomanner, Jim Dike, and then they listed KJ Osborne, who I know that we signed. He's played for the Ravens in the past, I believe. We signed KJ Osborne. I don't know, out of the rest of the wide receiver depth that we have on the roster right now and going into training camp, going through OTAs, I don't know. I don't know much about KJ Osborne, but I do know that he's not done a whole lot. I've been watching NFL for a long time. I've been playing fantasy football for a long time, which if you guys ever want to talk about that, let me know. We can do an episode or two on fantasy football sometimes if you want. But, yeah, KJ Osborne, I don't know, man. We have Bryce Oliver, who has actually kind of shown up really good for us. He was injured like all of last season, but before that, he's pretty good. And then, dare I say, Xavier Restrepo. I mean, he hasn't earned it yet. I haven't seen it from him yet, but he does have that chemistry with Cam Ward. He's been working really hard. I'm excited to see what he does this offseason. I'm not saying I think he's there yet, but I know that a lot of people are all about Xavier Restrepo. And so we'll see. We'll see what he does there. We'll see what happens with wide receiver depth. But what do you think about that news? I mean, do you think that our wide receiver depth, not necessarily how good our wide receiver room is going to be, but it's talking about the overall, how good we are overall and the depth that's there. I think we have a chance to be that. Now, one thing that I did mention yesterday on the show that I wanted to give a little update on was Calvin Ridley. I mentioned him yesterday, shared my take on him, where I am on him. I didn't care if they brought him back this year or not. Kind of wished that they wouldn't, because I don't want it to be something that causes them to hold off on playing younger players for longer because they're trying to give Calvin Ridley a chance because they like Calvin Ridley and because he's a name and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I wanted to do a correction from yesterday's show because I said that he didn't partake in the OTAs that I knew of at all. And then I went on to see video of him participating in OTAs on Friday, at least, of last week. And he did participate some, and what I saw, he looked good. But like I mentioned, I think I saw listed on Sunday or Monday, Sunday, I think, that he was listed as questionable. So, I mentioned his injury history and all that kind of stuff that he deals with. And like I said, reasons that I'm not a big fan of him being on the team anymore anyway. But I hope he proves me wrong. I was excited when we brought him in. And I would love for him to be another legit wide receiver one looking wide receiver, but I don't think he's there anymore. But we'll see. I mean, it can only help us to have as many high quality players on the roster as possible. Just wanted to give you guys an update on that and let you know, remind you what I shared yesterday about my take on him. So we'll see. I do think that it's a really cool thing for us to be included in those kinds of conversations. As I said previously about the power rankings list, we're not usually given respect and we're not usually listed in those kinds of things. So for us to be listed in something like that, maybe that is people starting to wake up and realize that we've got pieces in place to maybe turn this thing around quickly and start doing really well, and especially at wide receiver. We never have a good wide receiver room total. We had A.J. Brown for a while, but besides that, who have we really had at wide receiver that's been anything to talk about nationally or be excited about. So pretty cool to be in that conversation. So the last thing that I want to get to today with you guys, if you watched yesterday's episode, I talked about the situation with the edge position, our edge room, what I think that the plan is for the coaches and what they're doing to kind of moneyball that situation and really get us playing at a high level without having like that true elite edge player on the roster. And so I wanted to touch on this rumor real quick. I'm going to transition over here so you guys can see. I've seen a lot of talk recently in the last week or two on social media that we should trade for Arizona Cardinals edge Josh Sweat. I personally thought that would be a good idea. I was excited about that too, because if we want to get, I don't know if Josh Sweat is elite, but he is really, really good, and he would definitely help this room. But Ian Rappaport reported a couple days ago that that Arizona Cardinals, the team, has said that he is not being traded anywhere. So that is over, my friends. And so we're just a little bit over 15 minutes here. That was my last piece of information. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up today. There will be, as you saw, no Sweat. So that's not happening, guys. So we can let that go and we can move on to more ridiculous talk during the off season. But anyway, guys, that's all the news that I have for you for today's episode. If you like what you're seeing here, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff on YouTube. And then also come on over and follow me, as I said, on X at Ohio Titan. I even come up with I like to do graphic design and stuff like that, so I'll be posting sometimes like phone and computer wallpapers and things like that I come up with. It seems like there's a very limited amount of good quality Tennessee Titans phone and computer wallpapers and stuff. So I try to, if I don't see anything, if I see things that are good that other people make, I'll share them with you on there and you can take them and use them and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I don't see it. And so I end up creating my own as well. So come on over, you can get that kind of stuff. You can get conversation. You can get news that I'm sharing. You can talk with me and let me know what you think about everything. Okay. Other than that, guys, thank you again for tuning in. And we will see you on the next episode of Titans Latest. I am Brent K. Smith signing off, and I will check you next time. See you guys.